Hello, welcome to today's class. Today we would be covering the next 15 questions of the UGC December 2013 examination paper. So let's start with the first question here. The first question asks about the energy obtained from the combustion of which element would be used in the fuel cell driven vehicles. Now, before we answer this question, let's make clear this time there were two questions that were asked on internal combustion engines or on the concepts of basics of science. Okay. So the last question we discussed in the previous class, this is the next question that has been covered. So fuel cell technology is basically a technology that uses hydrogen as an element. Okay. So hydrogen and oxygen of the air combine, and that is used as a fuel in the combustion process. Okay. The next question is, which of the following councils has been disbanded in 2030? Now, all these four are the councils that are part of education and training in India. Of these, DEC or Distance Education Council, which was a part of IGNOU, has been disbanded in 2013. Okay. Now UGC plans to provide another body which would work as a common body for creating distance education in India. Okay. So the correct answer here is Distance Education Council. Now again, to note here is important. This is a question that is based on current affairs. Okay. We'll have a huge lot of questions in this section that would be based on current affairs. The next is, which of the following is a correct statement about NAC, that is National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Now NAC is again a body that has been in power since long, but this is a question that is based on current affairs because recently a decision was taken in which it was suggested that NAC should also have regional bodies. Okay, till now NAC has only only one headquarters which are located at Bangalore. It's an autonomous institution and it deals with providing, basically assessing and crediting institutions of higher education, which includes colleges and universities. And the basic methodology is it basically rates or ranks the university based on the performance and the result that a university or a college is providing. Okay. The headquarters is located not in Delhi but in Bangalore. And as of now, it does not have any regional offices, but in 2013, it has been proposed that since NAC is working across the country, it should have numerous regional offices. Okay, so that's just proposed. As of now, it does not have. So the correct answer in this question is 1 and 2. So the choice B is correct here. Okay. The next question is, the power of Supreme Court of India to decide disputes between two or more states is. So decision of disputes that fall between two or more states is usually known as original jurisdiction. We'll deal with all other jurisdictions in the class on political science. Okay. The next question is, which of the following statements are correct? Now in this, India has 7 union territories. That is a correct statement. Okay. 2 union territories have legislative assembly, that is Delhi and Puducherry or Pondicherry, you can say. Only 1 union territory has a high court, that is Delhi. And 1 union territory is capital of 2 states. Now, which is a union territory which is capital of 2 states? So Chandigarh is the union territory and its capital of 2 states, that is Punjab and Haryana. Okay. So as we can see in this, all the 4 statements are correct. So we have 1, 2, 3 and 4 as the correct option here. Next question talks about Central Information Commission. Now, what is basically Central Information Commission? Central Information Commission was set up in 2005 under Right to Information Act. Okay, this is a kind of a statutory body which has a chief information commissioner and other information commissioners. All of those are appointed by the President of India. Okay, this commission can impose a maximum penalty of rupees 25,000 only There is no provision to punish the errant officer or anything else under the Central Information Commission. So this question is again a kind of question which is based on current affairs or general knowledge. Okay, it's a part of political science, but it is mainly a part of current affairs. So in this question, 1, 2, and 3 are the correct statements. So you have choice C as the correct choice. This question is a question that is totally based on the recent general elections that were supposed to be held in 2013. Okay, so this question basically talks about which of the following conducted the CNN IBN Hindu 2013 election tracker survey across 267 constituencies in 18 states. So this was conducted by CSDS, that is Center for Study of Developing Societies, and Center for Study of Developing Societies basically tried to conduct a election poll with help of with association of CNN and IBN. Okay, so this is the correct answer, and this is a question that is 100% based on the very recent current affairs. So you can say it is a kind of for an examination in December, you must be up to date with the current affairs from July to at least October. Okay, and for June examination, you must be updated for current affairs starting from January at least till April. Okay, so the past 6 months current affairs, especially in field of higher education, environment, any environmental conference that is coming up or any environmental summit that is happening, okay, is very important. So the current environment summit that is being held in Lima is important this time. Okay, so this is one thing that you must note. Then you have any recent happening in political science or general politics of India is very important for point of view of current affairs. Okay, in the next set of questions, we would be talking about the activities that mainly deal with general basic mathematics. Okay, and reasoning. Okay, so here is the first question. In certain code, teacher is written as this. What would be children written as? Now in this question, the best way to solve this question is, rather than analyzing this question, it's best to form ABCD in a circular fashion. HIJKL W, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so what I have done is I'm writing A to Z in a circular form. Now, T here, okay, let me mark it with different color. T here becomes V, E becomes D, so E becomes G. So for all letters, as you can see here, you are leaving one letter and jumping to the next letter. So that would happen the same with children. So for C, it should be E. For H, it should be, I should leave I and then it should be J. Okay. Then for I, it should be K. Okay. Now don't keep on solving the question. Just look at the choices first. So if I have solved the first 3 letters of the word children, I can say the first 3 letters should be E, J, and K. Now in which of the following choices you can say it's E, J, and K? So 1 cannot be the answer. Choice C cannot be the answer. It should be either D or D. Okay, it can be D because there is a probability that the last letters do not match. So for that, we'll need to verify all the letters so the choice does not become none of the above. Otherwise, if there was a 4th choice here and you were given an option and with the first 3 letters you can judge which of these are correct, you can surely say that we'll go for choice B, and you don't even need to solve the complete question here. Okay. So it's very important to see the choices as well as the question while solving the questions on reasoning. It's just don't you keep on blindly solving the question and keep on wasting the time. The next question here is, a person has to buy both apples and mangoes. Okay. One apple costs rupees 7 and one mango costs rupees 5. So apple, the cost is 7 and mango, the cost is 5. Okay. So if a person has 38 rupees, the number of apples he can buy is. Now I can say with 38 rupees, a person can buy 7 fives are 35. So I can say a person can buy 5 apples, but then only 3 rupees would be left with him because he has 38 rupees, and in those 3 rupees he cannot buy a mango. So what I have to do is I have to divide 38 into such a way that he buys apples as well as mangoes, and there is nothing left. But at no part in this question is written that the number of mangoes and apples should be equal. Okay, so what we have to do here, again 5 is not a choice here. Okay, so this cannot be the answer. First of all, this cannot be the answer for another reason, because you are left with remainder 3, and with 3 rupees you cannot get anything. Okay, now the next thing is I can buy 4 apples. Okay, so it should be 28, and then I'm left with 10 rupees, and in those 10 rupees I can get 2 mangoes. Okay, so that sounds correct because you are utilizing all the 38 rupees, and in the question there is nowhere mentioned that amount of apples should be equal to the number of mangoes. Okay, so since this is the condition, we say 4 is the correct answer here, because with that I can buy 4 apples and 2 mangoes and use all 38 rupees I have. Now this question on blood relation is a kind of very tricky question. You need to understand it very nicely. So there is a man here and he points to a lady here. Okay. Now this man has a wife. This wife has a brother. Okay. So this is the relation from this side. Now this man pointing to the lady says that the son of her only brother, this lady's brother, okay, and his son, okay, the son of her only brother is the brother of my wife. So this son is the brother of his wife. Okay, that means how is that lady related to the man? Now we can say that since this man, okay, his wife's brother is the son of that lady's brother, that means that lady is the sister of father-in-law. Okay, so this person becomes the father-in-law of this man. Okay, because his son is the brother of his wife. So you have brother sisters here, and so this is the father of his wife also. So he is the father-in-law. So the brother of this lady becomes the father-in-law for that man, or this wife is the, we can say, daughter of this person X. Okay, so this is the father of his wife. So this man is the son-in-law, or this person is the father-in-law of this man, and since she is his sister, so the relation of this lady to this man is she is the sister of father-in-law. So that is the correct relationship. I'll explain this question once again. You have the man, this man has a wife, and this man has this wife has a brother. Okay, then you have a lady sitting. This lady has a brother, and there is a son of this brother, and this son is the brother of this wife. So since they are brother sisters, this wife is the daughter of this person. Okay, since she is the daughter, this person is the father of his wife, and since he is the father, he becomes the father-in-law of the man. And now this brother, this lady has a brother, so this lady is the sister of this person. So the relationship of man and lady is she is the sister of father-in-law. Okay, now next, in this series, now this is a very simple question, but a lot of students can do silly mistake in this question. So in this question, you have a series. So you have how many pairs of successive numbers which have a difference of 2. Now a very important thing to note in this question is the only thing that is asked is difference of 2. Okay. This can be in increasing order or decreasing order. That means 8 minus 6 is also correct, and 6 minus 8 would also be correct. So if the first number is 6 and 8, that is also correct. And the first number is 8 and 6, that is also correct. The only thing we need is there should be a difference of 2. Okay, so let's start picking up the terms. So the first term is 6, 4. You have difference of 2. Then 4 and 1 is 3, then 1, then 0, then 6, then 1, then 3, then again 2. So you have 4 and 2. Then again 1, 4, then 5 and 3. Okay, then 8 and 6, then 2, 2, 4, 7, then again 5 and 3 and 5, and finally 8 and 6. Okay, so how many terms can we get? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So in all there are 6 terms which have a difference of 2. So the correct answer for this is 6. Now most of the students get confused here. Okay, this is decreasing, this is decreasing, this is decreasing, this is decreasing, and this is decreasing. We shouldn't include this because this is increasing. So difference should. So most of the students get stuck up here. Okay, so it's very important to read the question carefully. It's asked how many pairs of successive number have difference of 2. Okay, that can be either increasing order or decreasing order. So this is also included. So the correct option here would be 6. So there are 6 numbers in these series, or 6 set of numbers in these series which have a difference of 2. Now this question is a kind of very simple question. The mean marks of 40 students is 65. So what is the total marks? So I can say 65 into 40 is the total marks of the students. Now the next line says that there is half of the students have a mean marks of 45. Okay, so if I say 4 into 65 is 0, 2, 4, 6 are 20, 4 and 2 carry over, so it's 2600. Now mean marks of half of the class is 45. So half of the class is for 40 total students, so half students are 20. Okay, and the mean marks are 45. So 45 into 2 is 90. So you have 900. So what would be the total marks for the remaining 20 students would be 2600 minus 900, so it's 1700. Okay, so the mean marks for the remaining is so the total marks for the remaining students is 1700. So the mean marks of the class would be 1700 divided by 20. So it's 8 carried over 1, 5. So 85 is the correct answer here. So the answer would be choice A, that is 85. Okay. So it's just a repetition. For this question, what you have to do, you have to first find out the total marks. And how can you find out the total marks? Total marks is the multiplication of the mean marks and the number of students. So you have number of students into the mean marks would be the total marks. Then you will find out the total marks for both the cases. You will subtract it and get the total marks for the remaining students. And the number of remaining students are 20. Because there are total 40 students, 20 of them have a marks of 45. So there are 20 students that are remaining. So the mean marks of the remaining students should be 85. Okay. So this is a simple question on finding mean. The next question says, Anil is twice as old as Sunita. So let me write Anil as A and Sunita as A, S. So I can say Anil is twice as old as Sunita. That's the first statement. Then I can say 3 years ago, he was 3 times as old as Sunita. So I can say A minus 3 is equal to 3 times the age of Sunita before 3 years. Okay. So what is the present age of Anil? So in this question, I can substitute A with this value. So I can say 2s minus 3 is equal to 3s minus 9. Or I can say minus 3 plus 9 is equal to 3s minus 2s. That implies s is 6. Now most of the questions stop here. Most of the students stop here and mark the answer as 6. But the question asks not the age of Sunita, but the age of Anil. And as we have said in the first statement, age of Anil is twice the Sunita. So since Sunita is 6 years, Anil should be 12 years. So it's very important that you don't do silly mistakes in these kinds of questions, because these questions are very simple and very scoring. Most of the students lose marks just because of silly mistakes here. So the correct answer here would be 12 years, because we are asked about Anil's age and not Sunita's age. Next question is, which of the following is a social network site? Social network site is a site where you can get to form a group of your friends, colleagues, college students, or a set of persons and communicate with them. So such kind of social networks which are commonly used are Twitter, Facebook. Okay. So the answer here is Twitter. Now Amazon and eBay are kind of e-commerce websites which are retailers, and Gmail is a platform where you can send emails. The next question here is, now this question is a question based on research methodology. But as we have seen in this paper specifically, most of the questions that were based on research aptitude and teaching aptitude are focused on the basics or the concepts of research. There is no numerical or no kind of derivative that is asked for research aptitude, no question on statistics that is basically asked. Most of the questions on research aptitude are based on the concepts of research methodology. So this is another important question similar to those. The population information is called a parameter. So population information means I have a set on which I am working, okay? That whole set, okay? If I'm taking the population information of that whole set, it would be known as parameter, okay? But instead of that, if I'm picking out a sample from that region of that sample, the value that I would be talking about is known as statistics. Okay, so the sample information is known as statistics. The whole population or the population information that is covered in totality is known as parameter, and the sample information is known as statistics. Okay. So these were the questions that we have covered for today's class. We would be covering the final set of questions in the next class. In the next class, we would be dealing with questions on reading comprehension. So stay tuned for the next class. Have a good day ahead.